Mic check. 1, 2. Okay. Look at Monday morning, Alaska. Well, we're talking about a lot of snowfall that we've been seeing across the state, more so through the interior. But later this week, we've got cold weather that's set to return to Alaska. We'll be talking about that coming up in the next few minutes. But you can see we're still holding on to some areas of rain and snow across parts of South Central as you head out towards Eagle River. This is overlooking Eagle River Valley from Baldy. You can see we've got a bit of a wintry mix that is occurring, and that has primarily been dealing with the Anchorage Bowl, where we've been holding on to that wintry mix, while areas through the valley have actually been holding on to more in the way of some snow. And that is where we continue to see that winter weather advisory. Notice across a large portion of the state, we've got some winter weather advisories through the interior, out towards the Dalton Highway, even seeing some winter weather advisories as you head out towards Juneau, which go into effect later this evening. So we'll be breaking down the regions across the state and what to expect as we welcome in the coming days. But as far as what we are dealing with when we're looking at the actual forecast for the remainder of today on into our Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, is that return to those colder conditions. So light snow continuing to fall through the interior, rain snow mix occurring across South Central. Of course, more of that rain is occurring through the Anchorage Bowl out towards Prince William Sound, while the Kenai is largely staying on the drier side. With that said, yesterday evening there were some reports of freezing rain rain for parts of the Kenai, but again, largely expecting drier conditions today for the Kenai. Now, as far as what we were dealing with last week, that ridge of high pressure that led to ample sunshine and that warmer weather we've been seeing, that shifted to the south, and that's opening the door for a trough to spill back into Alaska. And with that, we are going to see those temperatures steadily drop through the rest of this week. We're going to be talking about afternoon highs easily dropping about 40 degrees through the interior, while here in South Central we will see those afternoon highs drop about 20 to 30 degrees. Now, the big question continues to be, will we see some of that snow in the Anchorage Bowl? Really going to be hard to see that as we're still dealing with those temperatures fairly warm, and as you head aloft a couple of hundred feet, there is a warm nose that's with us as well. But there is a winter weather advisory through the Susitna Valley that continues until noon today. 4 to 6 inches has already fallen, with an additional 1 to 3 to be expected. So go ahead and plan on those slippery road conditions, really particularly if you're heading from the valley into the Anchorage Bowl, as you'll go from snow-covered roads to freezing rain on those roadways. So you want to make sure that you are taking it easy as you get out on the roadways today. Even through the interior where we're seeing some of that snow showers, those will continue to taper off through the remainder of today into the evening hours. And then on the backside of that, we'll begin to see that cold air erode away that cloud deck, some sunshine returning, and then we'll see those colder conditions beginning to settle in across the state. Meanwhile, here across South Central, notice what we're seeing. Into the valley, we've got those snow showers that's occurring, while as you head into the Anchorage Bowl, we've been dealing with more in the way of a freezing drizzle and freezing rain event. This is largely due to two things. One, we still have a layer of warmer air aloft due to that ridge we saw last week. In addition to that, we did see some winds pick up last night that brought in some warmer conditions up Cook Inlet into the Anchorage Bowl. That is why we woke up this morning to seeing some of those rain showers leading to some freezing rain. Now the question becomes, with the moisture that we do have remaining, can we see that transition in the Anchorage Bowl? If it occurs, we'll see about up to an inch of snowfall, although I think it will be on the lower end of that, but that's only if we see that transition take place. So just take it easy on those roads, and you can see snow in the valley, and as you head along the Glen Highway into the Anchorage Bowl, that is where you are encountering rain and snow. And again, that will gradually taper off through the remainder of today. So looking ahead for the rest of today, that snow in the interior, notice how that begins to pull off towards the south and east and then rapidly deteriorates overnight into Tuesday. That's that colder and drier air that's going to begin to spill into the interior, even here in South Central. Now tomorrow we could see some flurries lingering through the afternoon and early evening hours. Not everyone will see it. It's just going to be some pockets of some flurries that we'll see across South Central, and then that cold air arrives Tuesday night on into Wednesday for South Central, and that's going to erode away any of the clouds we have, and we've got another stretch of sunshine that will carry us through a large portion of this week. So again, looking at that snow total forecast across the state, nothing impressive through the interior. An additional 2 to 4 inches of snowfall to be expected. Storm totals could amount to 4+ inches in many spots, and of course in the valley we could see storm totals of about 5 to 9 inches. Notice out towards southeast where we've got a heavy dumping of some snow to be expected here over the next couple of days. That winter weather advisory for Yakutat, that remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening for up to about 3 inches of snow. Out towards southeast, or Juneau, you're expected to see that winter weather advisory at 6 p.m. this evening. That is for 8 to 14 inches of snowfall for Juneau and surrounding locations. Now that will not all fall within a 24-hour time period. We'll really see about 2 to 5 inches fall each and every day. That will amount to several inches by week's end. So be prepared for that snow, as well as some areas of rain that's going to spill into parts of southeast where those temperatures will remain on the warmer side. So what we're going to be seeing, ignore that warming air nudges to the east. That should say colder air spilling back in across Alaska, but notice what we're going to be seeing as we welcome in Tuesday. There's that cold air spilling in over the Brooks Range into the interior, and then eventually making its way here in South Central later this week. So all of us will be seeing colder conditions as we welcome in Thanksgiving. The only exception will be the Aleutians, which will see those highs sitting in the low to mid 40s for Thanksgiving. Out towards southeast, cold weather is to be expected for many areas, but we'll likely see those highs sitting in the upper 20s and the lower 30s. It's really mainland Alaska that's going to hold on to some of those colder conditions, and as you're seeing on that map there, the coldest weather will be through Fairbanks. So you're going to see a high today of about 24 degrees with an additional 3 inches, 6 degrees for the high tomorrow for Fairbanks, and then notice how those temperatures rapidly drop. By Thanksgiving, we're talking about a high of 15 below in Fairbanks with overnight lows easily bottoming out near 30 below for a large portion of the interior. So be prepared for that colder weather. This is coming off of several days of seeing those temperatures fairly warm, and now we're going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to those temperatures rapidly dropping. And you can see roughly a 40-degree drop to be expected through the rest of this week. Afternoon highs today will be warm for most of the state outside of areas north of the Brooks Range, where we're already beginning to see that cold air kind of nosing its way towards the Brooks Range, and then eventually will spill into the interior into our Tuesday, and then here in South Central Wednesday through the rest of the week. And looking at our forecast here in Anchorage, you can see we're at 25 tomorrow. Fairly seasonal, not bad day, chance for some flurries to be expected, and then as that cold air spills into the region, it's going to erode away that cloud deck. We are going to see several days with some sunshine. We're talking about a high Thursday sitting right around 12 degrees with overnight lows sitting near zero. Would not be surprised to see some parts of South Central, thinking Kenai, Soldotna, through the Susitna Valley, as well as the Copper River Basin, seeing those temperatures about 5 to 15 below zero. So go ahead, giving you an early heads up for that as we welcome in the coming days with that colder weather that's heading our way. Now, you may have heard, yes, we are in a La Nina. Looking at the last 2 to 3 La Ninas that we did see in that affected the state, it brought ample amounts of snowfall. That's not typical of a La Nina year. Those were years that actually stood outside of what we typically see for La Nina. And a La Nina season typically means a colder than normal season and below average snowfall, which with the way things are shaping up, we may continue to hold on to fairly dry conditions across South Central. We've only seen about 26 inches of snowfall for Anchorage, which is still above average for this time of year, but most of that fell back in October. And of course, if November closes with no more snow in Anchorage, this will be the least amount of snow that we've seen at 5 inches since 2018. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what to expect as we head into the winter months. But there it is, you can see that cold weather heading our way as we welcome in the close of this week, really the middle to the close of this week. A slight warming trend looks possible as we welcome in the weekend, particularly really going to fill it through the interior as those temperatures warm about 10 degrees. We'll give you another live look outside to give you a look at what we're seeing with that winter mix, that wintry mix that continues to occur for the Anchorage Bowl, and of course that light snow that is falling through the valley. Again, be prepared for some of those slick and slushy conditions, particularly in Anchorage, which continues to remain fairly icy due to that freezing drizzle that we've seen. We'll have more coming up in the noon show as well as in the evening newscast. For now, take it easy, and of course, make sure you have a great Monday.